LinkedIn CEO says skills are replacing college degrees. Well, where have we heard that before? For years, Joe. I've been saying that since I very first started on the radio.
You got a voucher.
Thank you. Joe can pull the audio from like way back in the day. 2013. I'm saying this stuff in Atlanta radio. Yeah. Well, not because I'm smart. I just have common sense. So before you people think that I'm getting all puffed up, I'm not. I am not smart. Let me tell you what I am. Common sense. So there you go. You know what I ought to call it? Uncommon sense. I think Tony Dungy wrote a book with that title, so I can't really steal that. He was on a different topic. Calm down in there, Amanda. She's a Colts fan. I say anything remote to the Indianapolis Colts, she gets excited. So I gotta calm her down. Okay, here we go. LinkedIn CEO Ryan Roslansky, whatever, Ro or Ra, I'm not sure, is quoted in this Bloomberg article. It's a Fortune article, about his comments on an interview with Bloomberg. Skills first hiring will create a much more efficient, equitable labor market, which then creates better opportunities for all. I agree with him. The idea here is that skills are the new degrees. Well, I love when people get like praised for saying stuff like this in an article as if it's like this new finding. This is just the kind of nonsense that I've been dealing with and fighting and trying to help parents understand. It's like, you've been duped. You know what the degree was really about? Pedigree. Let me say that again because I need it to sink into some of your skulls because you're still not getting it. The college degree, the diploma, was always about one thing and one thing only. It was about pedigree. You were better than other people if you had one. Oh, man, I just went and said it. Okay, for you cynical folks, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to go on the Google, and I want you to search Mike Rowe high school poster, college grad versus blue-collar worker. Can you guys find that picture and put it up? Since the 70s, my friend Mike Rowe, I interviewed him one time for a Ramsey event, and he showed this picture that we're going to put on the screen. And he's sitting in his guidance counselor's office as a 17-year-old junior. And over the guy's head is a poster we're going to put on the screen. There it is. Look at this. On one side is a college grad holding his diploma. Look how smug that punk looks. He's got life by the tail. Look at his face. Arrogant punk. Why is he so arrogant? Because he's better than the guy on the left. Look at the other guy. Tattered, dirty, coveralls with a giant wrench that you could kill a Clydesdale with. It's so heavy. And look at his face. He's downtrodden. Why? Because he's a plumber. This is class warfare. This is a marketing message that says that a college diploma made you better than that poor schmuck. Am I right? Thank you, I am. And this is the marketing message. Well, it's taken us now this long. Now we got some big shots. LinkedIn CEO, IBM CEO, General Motors CEO, Accenture CEO. Oh, yeah. The list goes on and on and on. What are they saying? They came out of a summit recently. They all said, hey, we're going to do skills first hiring. You got the skill? And sometimes what they're really saying is, do you have the raw talent, and we'll teach you and train you on the skill. Google's been doing this. A 6-month program where Google's going, look, I don't give a crap where you went to college. If you come through this 6-month training program and you get through it, we're going to hire you. Google's going, no school in America, this is what Google's saying, no school in America can train you like we can train you for our jobs. Duh. So, I mean, this isn't new. General Motors has removed degree requirements from job listings where they're not fully necessary, which is to say, ain't many that need a degree. Telva Magruder, its chief diversity, equity, and inclusion officer at GM, told Fortune magazine, it's not necessarily, she's talking about the degree, the be-all, end-all indicator of someone's potential. Under former IBM CEO Jenny Rometty's leadership, IBM coined the term new-collar jobs. Alex, make sure I don't forget that. I want to have some fun with that new-collar job. That's a great, great phrase. And this is referring to roles that require specific skills rather than specific education. The percentage of job openings at IBM requiring a four-year degree dropped from 95% in 2011 to less than half in January 2021. This is IBM. So, now, the next story. Ho, ho, ho! The incredible shrinking future of college. Okay. Now, for years on this show, I've been talking about what I'm calling is the perfect storm. Remember that George Clooney movie, I believe it was, and Mark Wahlberg? Fabulous movie. Two big old storms come in, create this monster storm. Impossible to survive, right? And I've been saying there's two storms that have been converging. Well, oh my, right here, Alex, we've got a third monster storm converging. What are the storms? Pardon me while I become a weatherman. You ready for this? Storm number one. The increasing price raise or inflation, oh my gosh, I can't even talk. I'm so excited. Tuition costs rising. One storm. Okay. Next, student loan crisis because of the cost of tuition going up and people not being able to pay cash for it or thinking they not be able to do it. And so we've been marketing student loans. And so now that's the other storm. So a unbelievable combination there. Here's the third storm. In 4 years, the number of students graduating from high schools across the country will begin a sudden and precipitous decline due to a rolling demographic aftershock of the Great Recession. What was that? The Great Recession, 2006, 2007, freaked a lot of people out about their unemployment and uncertainty. Guess what they did? They stopped having kids. The birth rate has continued to drop, and we are now starting to see the consequences on campus everywhere. Classes will shrink year after year for most of the next 2 decades. The people that are actually scared of this in higher ed, they're calling this the enrollment cliff. Now, keep in mind on this show, I've been reporting, we already see enrollment dropping, but this is going to get worse because, ready for this? It's less relevant, so now we have a lack of interest. We're seeing enrollment drop right now because of the lack of interest, in the sense that we don't think it's relevant. Now you're going to have a lack of candidates. So the relevance issue is already a problem. Now you can just have less kids graduating and thus the percentages decrease of people who would even go. Oh my goodness. So what's going to happen? You're going to have some of your blue collar Ivy League schools that have billions and billions of dollars in their endowment and they're still attractive and they're in kind of liberal elitist areas where people still think it matters. And so those schools will survive longer. But watch for smaller colleges in the Midwest and in the Southeast, Southwest. Watch them dry up. And I'm telling you, this is going to be a shockwave. And it's coming. And one day it's going to hit the shores of our country. And everyone's going to go, what happened to higher education? I'm going to tell you what happened. It lost touch with what it was supposedly designed to do. You know what, though? It's not going to be a crisis for anybody else because there's going to be alternative learning, including Ramsey Academy and Ken Coleman. Stay tuned. We're ready.